Hello, friends, and welcome back to Eclectic Knowledge and our series Compelling Stories for a Dinner Party. I'm your host, Christopher James, and tonight we unravel the enigmatic disappearance of the Death Valley Germans. We learn about three sisters that duped the world, and we hear the tale of a dimensional portal hidden in the Grand Canyon. So pour yourself some wine, pass the potatoes, and let's get into it. Our story for the cocktail hour is about a German family whose quest for adventure led them to the extremes of the American wilderness, and it cost them their lives. This is the story of the Death Valley Germans. It was the sweltering heat of a July day during the summer of 1996 when Egbert Remkes, his son George Weber, Cornelia Meyer, and her son Max Meyer set out to explore the rugged terrains of Death Valley National Park. Their adventure began with high spirits and a rented Plymouth Voyager, but as they ventured deeper into the park, the unforgiving desert began to reveal its harsh realities. After exploring areas of the park during the morning hours, the family's journey took a fateful turn that afternoon when they drove down the remote and less traveled Warm Springs Road, aiming to reach the historic site of the Barker Ranch. It's believed that the intense July heat, which can soar above 120 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, along with a possible underestimation of the desert's brutal conditions, led them astray. The family had planned their return to Germany with a flight scheduled from Los Angeles on July 27, 1996. However, records show no evidence that they ever boarded this flight or left the United States. The absence of the Remkes-Meyer family sparked concern back in Germany, particularly for Heike Weber, Remkes' ex-wife. Distraught over the disappearance of her son and ex-husband, she initiated inquiries into their whereabouts, unaware of the tragedy that had unfolded in the vastness of Death Valley. The turning point in this mystery came on October 21, 1996, when a park ranger conducting an aerial survey for illegal activities spotted the family's rented minivan in the desolate Anvil Canyon, far east of Willow Spring in Death Valley National Park. The coordinates marked a location so remote it underscored the perilous path the family had taken to reach that location. The minivan, reported stolen by the rental company, bore the scars of a harsh journey: 3 flat tires, damaged wheels, and evidence of having been driven over rocky terrain for more than 2 miles. Inside, untouched belongings, including a Coleman sleeping bag, a tent, toys, and an unused tire jack. The discovery of the minivan mobilized an extensive search effort, drawing over 200 search and rescue workers to comb the rugged landscape near Anvil Canyon. Despite the dedication of multiple search and rescue teams and the search's staggering $80,000 cost, only one single beer bottle offered a cryptic clue. Found under a bush over a mile from the vehicle, with a cleared ledge and seat mark beside it, the bottle hinted at a moment of rest, or perhaps despair, for one of the family members, likely Remkes, in search of shade in the relentless desert sun. Yet as days turned into weeks, hope waned, and on October 26, 1996, the authorities made the difficult decision to call off the search for the missing tourists. The silence of the desert returned, holding within it the untold story of the Death Valley Germans. Theories abound as to why the family ventured so far into such perilous territory. Some suggest they were misled by outdated maps, while others speculate about a tragic miscalculation of the desert's vastness and the vehicle's capability, underestimating the condition of the roads and the need for high-clearance, four-wheel drive vehicles. For 13 years, there were no new developments on the mysterious disappearance. Then, finally, the mystery took a significant turn on November 12, 2009, when 2 off-duty search and rescue personnel, Les Walker and Tom Mayhood, made a pivotal discovery. While traversing the park's less trodden paths, they found skeletal remains of an adult male and an adult female. Identification items, including Cornelia's passport and bank ID, were found nearby, alongside personal effects like a journal penned in German and a wine bottle, all pointing unmistakably to the missing Rimkus Meyer family. Although DNA confirmation was obtained only for Rimkus's bones, the evidence led authorities to assert with high confidence that the remains belonged to the lost tourists. Tragically, the children's remains were never formally identified, though the sole of a child's shoe was discovered, hinting at their presence. Tom Mayhood later theorized about the family's final ill-fated decisions. On July 23, 1996, pressed for time and eager to reach Yosemite National Park, the family might have sought a shortcut through the back roads of Death Valley, grossly underestimating the harshness of the route and the requirement for a four-wheel drive vehicle. Mayhood's investigations suggest the family's vehicle became ensnared in a wash, prompting a desperate on-foot trek southward towards what they hoped would be the Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake. Accustomed to the well-patrolled perimeters of German military bases, they perhaps expected similar conditions, not foreseeing the desolate expanse that lay before them. The grim reality of Death Valley's July heat, along with dehydration and the absence of shelter, likely led to their untimely demise. We're eager to hear your thoughts. What lessons can we learn from the tragic tale of the Death Valley Germans? And how does their experience shape your view of adventure and preparedness? Share your insights in the comments below, and let's continue the dialogue after dinner. But now it's time for the main course. Up next is a journey through the veiled past of spiritualism. It's the remarkable tale of the Fox sisters and how they created a sensation in the world of the supernatural and ushered in the age of spiritualism. So settle in as we explore the origins, rise, and astonishing revelation of the Fox sisters. Our story unfurls in the mid-19th century, in the quaint and quiet Hydesville, New York. It was here, in a seemingly unremarkable farmhouse, that the Fox family, including young sisters Kate and Margaretta, and their guiding light elder sister, Leah, would unwittingly forge the path for spiritualism. The year was 1848, a time ripe with curiosity and the burgeoning whispers of otherworldly realms. The Fox family, Methodist by faith, had recently settled in Hydesville, not far from the bustling community of Rochester. Their new home, cloaked in the ordinary, harbored an extraordinary secret. It was said to be haunted, a narrative that, whether by chance or fate, would become the crucible for an unprecedented phenomenon. It began with subtle, inexplicable rappings, sounds that echoed through the night, captivating not just the family, but soon a gathering of intrigued neighbors. The young Fox sisters, Kate and Margaretta, claimed these sounds were the Morse code of the spirit world, messages from beyond the veil. The rappings, they insisted, was their way of communicating with the spirits. As word began to spread about town, the Fox sisters found themselves at the heart of a spiraling intrigue. Leah, recognizing the potential of her sister's extraordinary talents, assumed the mantle of their manager. Together, they embarked on a journey that would see them rise as celebrated mediums, their seances drawing crowds eager for a glimpse into the ethereal. In the wake of their burgeoning notoriety, the Fox sisters' seances became intimate gatherings turned public ceremonies, held in dimly lit parlors that transformed into stages for the otherworldly. These seances, initially confined to the shadowy corners of Hydesville, soon found their way into the more opulent settings of Rochester's drawing rooms. With Leah's astute guidance, the venues grew grander, the audiences more diverse. From the curious skeptic to the fervent believer, from the humble local to the distinguished visitor, All were drawn by the magnetic pull of the sisters' promise to pierce the veil between the living and the dead. The atmosphere at these gatherings was electric, charged with a mix of fear, anticipation, and awe. Tables tapped, curtains rustled, and shock filled the air as spectral communications unfolded in coded rappings, each knock a purported message from beyond. Among the guests were figures of high social standing, intellectuals, and even radical reformers, all united by the allure of the Fox sisters' enigmatic talents. As the sisters' fingers lightly touched the seance table, the very fabric of reality seemed to thin, blurring the lines between the physical and the spiritual, forever altering the perception of the possible. By November 14th, 1849, the phenomenon had swept into Rochester, with the sisters demonstrating their spiritualist rappings at Corinthian Hall, marking the dawn of public spiritualist events. The spectacle was unlike anything the audience had ever seen, blending the allure of the unknown with the charisma of the Fox sisters. Yet as their fame grew, so did scrutiny. Critics emerged, armed with skepticism, challenging the authenticity of the rappings. Eminent figures, including author and publisher Reverend C. Chauncey Burr, a team of investigators from the University of Buffalo, and the investigative prowess of inventor, physician, and professor Charles Grafton Page, all cast shadows of doubt, suggesting the sisters might be the architects of an elaborate deception. Despite the claims of forgery and fraud, the Fox sisters' seances had become grand spectacles, drawing crowds from the furthest reaches of curiosity and high society alike. Their public appearances were events of unprecedented scale, with auditoriums filled to the brim, the air thick with anticipation and the heady scent of the unknown. Esteemed guests, among them luminaries like the steadfast publisher Horace Greeley and the literary giant William Cullen Bryant, lent credence to the enigmatic performances. The sisters, enveloped in the mystique of their own making, conducted seances that were as much a display of theatrical prowess as they were a purported bridge to the spirit world. Each rap, each whispered message from the beyond, served to weave a tighter web around the hearts and minds of their captivated audience, securing their place in the chronicles of the mysterious and the unexplained. And for 40 years, the Fox sisters held an esteemed place in the annals of spiritualism. The movement they ushered in had grabbed hold of the American psyche and would never let go. However, a turning point for the sisters came on October 21st, 1888, in New York City's Academy of Music. Before a crowd of thousands, Margaretta, with Kate in the audience, unveiled the truth. The rappings, the cornerstone of their communications with the spirit world, were a lie. They were revealed to be a mere mortal contrivance, produced by the cracking of joints and other mundane means. They both went on to claim that they were simply innocent children, forced to participate in the deception so their sister, Leah, could earn money. Both sisters grew to vehemently resent their older sister, and all three suffered through public accusation from the other. Leah ended up escaping most of the criticism and vitriol that Margaretta and Kate experienced when their deception was revealed. Margaretta would denounce spiritualism altogether, calling it a fraud of the worst deception, and stating that she hoped her confession would act as a death blow to spiritualism. This confession, though shocking, did not herald the end of spiritualism. Instead, the movement continued to flourish, a testament to the enduring human desire to believe in something beyond our understanding. The Fox sisters, once the beacon of spiritualism, faded into the pages of history. As the final curtain fell on the enigmatic journey of the Fox sisters, their lives beyond the seance room were marked by personal trials and transformations. Leah, having weathered the storm of scandal and scrutiny, found solace in the arms of a Wall Street banker, Daniel Underhill, embracing a life far removed from the wrappings of her youth. Margaretta's heart was captured by the adventurous Elisha Kane, though his belief in their mediumship was fraught with skepticism. Despite the controversies, love intertwined their fates, and Margaretta's faith shifted to the solemn halls of the Roman Catholic Church, a sanctuary she sought even as the echoes of her past called her back to the spirit world. Kate's journey led her across the ocean to England, where her talents found patronage among the elite, her life intertwining with H.D. Jenkin, a barrister with a passion for the spiritual. Yet the shadows of doubt and discord followed, ensnaring Kate and Margaretta in a web of alcoholism and familial strife, their once celebrated gifts now a source of torment and division. In the twilight of their lives, the sisters found themselves grappling with the tangible ghosts of their choices, their final days shrouded in obscurity, illness, and hardship. United in death as in life, the sisters found their final resting place in Brooklyn. Kate and Margaretta buried together, while Leah was buried with her husband's family. Their legacy a haunting reminder of the thin veil between fame and infamy, truth and illusion. We'd love to know what you think. What do you think of the Fox Sisters' fraudulent performances? Does it affect your belief in the spiritual realm? Discuss in the comments below as we clear the dishes and bring out dessert. Our third and final story for the evening is one that may tickle your brain and make you question your reality. Tonight, we are taking a wild ride deep into a tale that stretches the boundaries of our existence. A story of hidden worlds, ancient secrets, and a journey that defies explanation. So, grab your coffee, get some dessert, and let's explore the enigmatic account of Dr. Hank Craftsman and his descent into the heart of the Grand Canyon. Our story begins in the vibrant halls of the University of Northern Arizona in 1961, where a young Hank Craftsman's life was about to change forever. It was there he met Karl Kopavi Waltz, a fellow student of Hopi descent with a Dutch ancestor. Forming a bond over their shared Dutch heritage, the two new friends began to share stories of their lives, creating a casual connection that grew into a great friendship. However, Carl came to the friendship with secrets, and Hank could have never known that the path he was about to take would forever change the direction and very purpose of his life. Carl, a descendant of the legendary lost Dutchman, Jacob Waltz, carried with him unfathomable secrets passed down through generations. Secrets of hidden entrances to an inner world existing right beneath our feet. As their friendship deepened, Carl grew to trust Hank, sharing the truth of his people a little bit at a time. One day, Carl revealed the truth behind the legend of the lost Dutchman's mine. After the initial shock of learning about the existence of the fabled mine settled in, Hank learned the mine was not a gold mine at all, but a gateway to an underground realm. According to the tale, the lost Dutchman was not actually a miner, but rather a guardian of a secret entrance to the inner earth. Jacob Waltz, known as the Lost Dutchman, is said to have been trusted by the Pima Indians, who were aware of his close ties with the Hopi and their sacred traditions. Despite the Pima's reverence for the entrances to the underground realms, they themselves were not permitted to enter these sacred spaces. In this narrative, Waltz was asked to undertake a crucial role, to transport sacks of salt down to the inhabitants of the inner earth. This task was of immense importance because, within these subterranean worlds, salt was a scarce and highly valued resource, unlike gold, which was said to be abundant. In exchange for the salt, a substance vital for its preservative qualities and spiritual significance, Waltz was given gold by the inner earth inhabitants. Then one day, Carl posed an irresistible question. Would Hank like to see one of these mystical entrances himself? The answer, of course, was a resounding yes. And so their adventure began, not with a map, but with trust and a blindfold. They set off into the Grand Canyon, navigating treacherous trails on sure-footed donkeys, the vast expanse of the canyon spreading out like a painter's masterpiece below. At a secluded spot, deep into the unending labyrinth of the Grand Canyon, Carl blindfolded Hank, a require set by the enigmatic Council of Nine to protect the sanctity of what lay ahead. The blindfolded ride was a test of faith, each step a leap into the unknown. When the blindfold finally came off, they stood before a sheer cliff wall in a large clearing, the hidden entrance. Hank's disbelief was shattered when his hand, guided by Carl, passed through the solid rock facade, revealing it to be an illusion. Beyond this illusion lay a brightly lit cave, housing a device unlike any Hank had seen, an escalator of light, covered by a transparent bubble. Here, Hank's narrative takes a turn into the truly fantastical. For years, he claimed that this was as far as he went. He was not allowed to go any further. But in reality, the truth was far more extraordinary. With Carl's guidance, Hank journeyed further, aboard a flying machine gliding through energy fields in subterranean tunnels, towards the heart of the Hopi inner world. Their destination was the center of the world, accessed through a maze of doors designed to confound the unwary. They passed through a purification room that cleansed them of all negativities, preparing them for the entry into the city of Palataquapi. Palataquapi was a vision from another time. The city was alive with a constant gentle wind engineered to circulate fresh air from the polar openings, maintaining a perfect balance within this hidden ecosystem. In this city beneath the earth, the sky was a perpetual blue, illuminated by a stationary sun. The air was pure, the climate constant. Hank's account of his time in Inner Earth speaks of a profound sense of wonder and discovery, observing a civilization that lived in harmony with its environment, utilizing advanced technologies in balance with nature. The city's inhabitants, their culture, and their way of life left a lasting impression on him, providing insights into the possibilities of human and societal evolution. Sooner than Hank would have liked, his time in the Hopi inner world was over. His exploration had ended, and his life would never be the same. Over the coming years, Hank tried to return to the portal several times on his own, but he was never able to find the entrance. But the experience never left him. In fact, it shaped the rest of his life. Dr. Craftsman, as he would become, would dedicate his life to uncovering the mysteries of our planet, reserving large portions of his academic research for the study of ley lines, portals, and alternate dimensions. Dr. Hank Craftsman died in 2011, but his work in alternative studies and his first-hand account of a visitation to the inner earth lives on, waiting for someone else to pick up the charge and move forward from where Dr. Craftsman left off. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Hank Craftsman's incredible adventure. How does this blend of ancient lore and hidden realms shape your understanding of the world? Do you think the story is real or a great piece of fiction? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this fascinating conversation. And with that, my friends, our stories for the evening have come to an end. I hope you've enjoyed these chronicles tonight. It's not often you hear tales of fatal misfortunes in a national park, charlatan sisters that sparked a phenomenon, and hidden entrances to other dimensions, all in one evening. But that's what we did. If you enjoyed yourself, please subscribe and like. We hope to see you at the table again next time. Until then, my friends, may your gatherings be rich with compelling stories and eclectic knowledge. Good night.